Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Politics Now. We're talking about modern politics and modern America. And yesterday, Trump was arrested and had his mugshot taken, which it's been spreading throughout everywhere. It's gotten a lot of views, and it's actually got Trump to return to Twitter to 217 million views on his newest post about the mugshot. And he's slapping that on everything. So, yeah, let's get into that. So, Trump, he got arrested yesterday. They took his mugshot, they fingerprinted him, and the mugshot came out, and instantly it became trending. And now Trump is putting that on everything. He's putting it on mugs, he's putting it on shirts, he's probably going to put it on bumper stickers, and it is going to be everywhere. This is going to be the face of his campaign. The fact that he got a mugshot is the face of his campaign now, and I predicted a long time ago that if he got arrested and had a mugshot, the mugshot would be probably the most important picture in the entire 2024 campaign. That would be the most important part of his campaign, is the fact that he got arrested by a corrupt legal system that is only there to go after Democrat political prisoners, and he's number one. So if they can arrest him, they can arrest anybody. So that mugshot is going to be absolutely insane in terms of the campaign, and it is going to have a great effect on especially his poll numbers, because the fact that he got arrested on such a blatantly partisan legal case where it's not ruined in any legal code, it's more so just he's a Republican and we don't like his opinions, so let's lock him up. And is it a coincidence that they pick a jail and a prison that is known for a ton of people dying there, and the fact that 4 people have died there in the past month? So they obviously picked that on purpose. They wanted him to, if he does end up there and if something were to happen, they would be celebrating. It would be like if Adolf Hitler died today. They would be absolutely celebrating, and they would dedicate an entire holiday just to celebrate his death. But that is the lengths that they will go to. Even when he's getting fingerprinted and getting a mugshot, they will pick the most dangerous place so that if something happens, it's more likely to happen and it can happen to the guy that they hate the most. So Trump now has a interesting opportunity to push this even further. The indictments kind of already started this, where he can brand himself as the defender of Americans against a corrupt legal system, because he got indicted 4 times on not really legally stable charges. They're more so based in politics. But the fact that he got a mugshot and that he got arrested, that is the ultimate pedestal, because he hadn't been arrested. He had only been charged with stuff. Now he has a mugshot and he has a case to prove it. So now he's just going to use that to win the presidency and win a ton of voters, and especially independent voters who don't exactly find this as a actual legal case, and more so find it as a partisan legal case where there's pretty much no law involved in here. It's all partisanship, and independents are going to see that, and given the fact that Trump is the one being thrown in prison here, a lot of them might flip over to Trump if he plays his cards right. And he doesn't really need to worry about the Republican base, because he has a stranglehold on that. He, in the primary, he's doing perfectly fine. He's up 40 points. DeSantis, he pretty much has no chance of winning at this rate. Neither does anybody else here. Ramaswamy, he's basically going for a cabinet position, and he's kind of stagnating around 7 at this point. But he is likely to go up, given the fact that he did pretty well in the debate, and he's definitely the second favorite. There's just a lot of DeSantis supporters, and DeSantis is still pretty high in the polls comparative to Ramaswamy. Trump, absolutely not. But Ramaswamy, yeah, he has about double the polling numbers that Ramaswamy has. So Trump, he has it out of the bag. He's got the Republican nomination secured if he just plays his cards right, and he's still got a dedicated following, which is even more dedicated from the fact that he got arrested and got a mugshot taken care of him. And now he has a even bigger motivation for his base to go out and support him. And given the fact that he has that motivation and he can use it very, very well, it is pretty likely that a ton of voters who sat out the 2020 election and didn't vote for Trump in a lot of these swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, now they're going to be turning out because if Joe Biden wins another term, in their eyes, the legal system will be pretty much dead. Trump will go to jail, and a ton of other people who the Joe Biden disagrees with, they're also going to go to jail. So, even the fact that that's going to be a very big issue on the ballot, it's not going to look too good for Biden. And it's already not looking good for Biden because looking at the polls, he's only up 1.5 points. And given the fact that he's an incumbent president and he was around 7 points when the election started in 2020, which is one where he barely won in a lot of these states by less than a point, he should be polling a lot higher. And even the fact that he's unpopular, he should definitely be polling a lot higher because, you know, they push the narrative where Trump is unelectable and he is just turning off a bunch of people and they're all going to go to Biden or just not vote. Given the fact that Biden is only up 1 point when he's the incumbent president and should have a pretty decent shot at winning the popular vote, which is what the general election polls are measuring, where if you're winning that, you have a pretty good shot at winning the popular vote. And Republicans haven't won the popular vote ever since 2004. So if they manage to win a popular vote now, then that means that they won it for the first time in 20 years. And that means that Joe Biden lost it for the first time in 20 years, where the Democrats pretty much have a stranglehold over the popular vote. Even Hillary Clinton won in 2016. But still, if you can't win the popular vote as a Democrat, you have serious troubles coming. And if you can't win that, then you're not really going to win the Electoral College because if you don't win the popular vote as a Democrat where you have the big cities to support you, and that's where a lot of the population is, you're not going to win the Electoral College, and you're going to have a much harder time at winning the election because if you don't win the popular vote, you're pretty much screwed. And given the fact that it's this close, and Trump is up in one of these polls, and there's a tie in another, that's not good. A lot of these polls are actually Biden plus one. And given the fact that a majority of the polls are Biden plus one, and one is a tie and one is Trump up, then that really begs the question, can he win the popular vote? And given the fact that a lot of these polls don't account for the new arrest and mugshot things, where you're going to need a bit of time for that to fully set in and for the effects to fully, reveal themselves, then is Joe Biden going to go down in the polls and is Trump going to have a massive boost sparked from this arrest and this mugshot? Because if he does have a massive boost, well, the general election polls might be heading towards Trump plus 2 or 3 or 1. And if he's up that high in the polls, then maybe he might win the popular vote. And if Trump can win the popular vote, then he has a pretty good shot at winning the Electoral College. And in a lot of these swing states, he is also doing very good because he has that base in there. And especially in the Midwest, he has that white working class base that will more likely than not turn out a lot stronger than they did in 2020 with the fact that he got arrested and got a mugshot taken. And now they're going to be showing up in these states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, even Ohio. And they're going to be showing up in these states in large numbers. So now Biden really has a debacle because if he can't win those Midwestern states, he's not going to win the election. If he loses Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, then Trump is only one state away from actually winning the election, and all he needs to do is win a pretty electorally small state like Nevada. And if he wins Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, he's just won the election. And it doesn't matter if he loses Georgia. It doesn't matter if he loses Michigan or Arizona. If he just wins those three states, which also Biden barely won those three states in 2020, and Nevada was a different story, but given the trends there, it's probably going to be a very, very close race there. So Joe Biden could do perfectly in Michigan and Arizona and Georgia, given the trends there. But given the trends in other states and the fact that, given the Trump in the indictments and the arrest and the mugshot, now you have that, and a lot of Trump voters who sat out 2020 are going to be turning out in these states, and that might just be enough to flip a lot of these states. So Trump, even though he wins it with a very, very small margin, we're talking like 2 electoral votes between them, he's still winning, and you're still a loser if you get second place. You're one of the best losers, but you're still a loser. So, Joe Biden, you need to rework your campaign and focus on a bunch of other stuff that isn't your record because your record isn't that good. And honestly, if Trump rises in the polls by a lot, Democrats are screwed. And Trump, he just needs to use this arrest and this photo very, very well and very, very effectively with his campaign and his message. And it could have pretty drastic results when it comes to election night. And he could be flipping a lot of these states, even places like Michigan, which leans a lot more Democrat than a lot of these other swing states. So if you think Trump will have a massive boost because of this arrest and photo, then leave that in the comments below. If you think it will kind of stay still, also leave that in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.